Shalom, 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 peace world. What's up? Blessings up, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Praise be to the Most High, the universal sovereign, Yudhe. I'd like to, this day, man, I wanted to bring out something that was, it's kind of an older study that I did. What I wanted to bring out was for people that have lost an understanding of what true consciousness is, and as to how you develop and climb up Jacob's ladder, Genesis 28:12, and into a higher realm or greater consciousness, because everything is about levels and degrees. It's initiation. And even in the great Tanakh, you will see what David asks and says is how did the Grand Master Architect of the universe regard him as a man, as such as one of the men of high estates, or other words, of a high degree. So this right here lets you know that in the scheme of things, that things are really about initiations. You have to be initiated into the mysteries, because the reason why it's a mystery is that the average layman or the average person who would just take this knowledge would not make use of it. It would be akin to the parable of what did the one servant do when he was given his talents and hid them in the ground. As a people of consciousness, there's a ladder that reached up to heaven, okay, and it's Jacob's ladder, and upon that ladder, you see what angels ascending and descending. So there are celestial beings that are going up and down the ladder, and going down in the ladder as a stand, going down to either bring someone up with the lion's grip, which is the same thing that raised Hiram from the grave with the Master's word. The Master's word being, as some may know, Yudhe. Okay. Same similarity as some of these organizations out here, or sects of the so-called conscious community, trying to raise the so-called black man from his death, from his grave of death. Now, we do have those who are in the know understand that some of this, we understand that things originated out of Kim, but we also understand that there were things that were brought in to Kim by others, more specifically, I'm speaking about those people who call themselves Hebrews. Okay, now these people that were called Hebrews, they were not yet called Israelites. So at what point did they become Israelites? And Hebrew is different than Hebrew Israelite, and Hebrew Israelite is different from just plain Israelites. You know what I'm saying? There's three different labels, or three different heads. So not everybody is a Hebrew Israelite. Not everybody is a Israelite, and not everybody is a true Hebrew. Okay, as an Israelite, you may be just one who is at what we call at the first level. Okay, but in the Masonic lodges, they call it the first degree. You may be a Hebrew. You may be a Hebrew Israelite, which may bring you your second degree. You became the Israelite by the fact of you. Once Israel's name, Jacob's name, Jacob, was changed to Israel, and they inherited the land of Canaan, and then became Israelites. Now, a Hebrew, in the truest form of the sense, because the Most High, if he speak, the Most High is not a Hebrew Israelite. He spoke the language of Hebrew to the people, sent down that language. Okay, the language that was given to the people. Hebrew is akin to the third degree of masonry, which makes you a master mason. And Hebrew is not boxed in by religion. Hebrew is not a person. Hebrew Israelites are Jews, or study Judaism, or under the ism of Judaism. These are the ones who are very literal in the scripture. very when it comes to deciphering the 613 laws. They are a literal they are literal in their thinking. They're not contemporary, meaning that they haven't transitioned up to be a Hebrew. See, when you're just a Hebrew, you have faceted ways, and you have a mindset that is of a higher degree. This is how you are regarded as a high degree. So, you know, I wanted to bring out something. I'm here, and it's that day, and it's that time, and I keep and you can put this up. 2017 is the year of the great Yahweh, Yahweh the Great. All right, because 2017 is going to bring you to in numerology to the number 10. We deal with the number 10. We're talking about the head, okay, which is the fire symbolized by the Yud. Okay, now this is also indicative of theologically as Aries, the head. Okay, then in the true time, not under the Gregorian calendar of 2017, but it's going to line up because they got to try to keep up with the times of those who were appointed to keep time. Okay, Saturn is known as the timekeeper. Okay, Saturn is rules over Jupiter. Jupiter was the last age that we entered. We stepped out of the age of believing, and Jupiter's father is Saturn. Okay, Saturn deals with time. So now it is the time, right? The time is here. And the next, in the vernal equinox, after that beginning, from Passover, we're going to enter into the celestial new year of 6021. 6 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1, that's going to give you 9. 9 is complete. It's the divine feminine. That's why Scripture says that not on the birth of this wise, right? This is so-called Yahshua was born on this way. So 9 is feminine, right? It's for the divine feminine who gives birth. 10 is a masculine, which is symbolizes Leo. 9 feminine is symbolizes Aquarius. So you're going to see some phenomenal things that's going to be happening during this upcoming year, 2017. On the Gregorian or Julian calendar, and on the Gregorian calendar, and as far as the celestial calendar, the solar time, which is the real true time, which would be the year 9. So there are going to be things that are going to be birthed in the terrestrial world that you're going to see that has already been verified, and it's part of the spiritual realm, but it's going to give birth in the coming months, so to speak. But what I want to get to when I talk about levels and degrees is I want to be on the page and have everyone to understand this. Some of this is not for laymen. Then some of it is you will understand. But nonetheless, those who have ears will hear, and those who have eyes will see. Now, when you reach to the third degree, by receiving the 4 letters of the Tetragrammaton, this is the Master's word. When a Master Mason has made use of the word, and I'm going to say Masons, I'm going to change that terminology, and I'm going to tell you there's a difference between a Mason and an architect. Okay, so if you are raised by the Grand Master Architect, then that will make you a Master Architect. So, but for the sake of the lesson here, when a Master Mason made use of the word and the secret lion's grip, okay, from the tribe of Judah, the lion paw grip of the tribe of Yahudah, Hiram was raised. Okay, when Hiram was raised, this is something that, see, Hebrew Israelite, you won't know this. An Israelite doesn't know this. Hebrews know this, that he was raised and embraced with the 5 points of fellowship. This is how you are supposed to greet your brother. This is how I know that you are initiated. This is how you will know that I am initiated. If you have not the grip along with the 5 points of fellowship and don't even recognize what that is. See, they have stolen everything and took it and made it as their own. And this is coming from the Kabbalistic tree of life. And that's here again the difference between an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, and an Hebrew. Hebrew is the culmination. All right, it's the apex. So when you say that, you know, you don't understand or know what the 5 points of fellowship are, that means you have not been initiated. In the first degree, your unconscious mind is prepared. That's the preparation stage. Okay. What did they do before Passover? It's the day of preparation. All right, passing over from darkness to light. Same thing as when you say that you're Hebrew, you're crossing over, passing over. Same thing. This is at the first initial stage. Okay, to receive the mind is the unconscious mind, because at that level you're unconscious. Israelite, unconscious mind is prepared to receive the higher truth. And the second, okay, which is Hebrew Israelite, the soul is uplifted and informed. And the third degree brings about the spirit into the universal consciousness. This is what Hebrew is at its purest form. It is the universal consciousness. It's a totality. All right. That's why you are raised, and you're raised by levels and degrees. You have to go through schooling. So just walking around holding a Bible and quoting scripture does not make you that you're of a certain level within the spectrum. Okay. Moses, let's talk about Moshe. Moshe excelled, or some say Akhenaten. Moshe excelled all the grandmasters because he was schooled in all the knowledge and wisdom of the Egyptians. Moses excelled all the grandmasters who had preceded him by building the tabernacle, and which resided the holy ark, the symbol of Yudhe, or YHWH, presence. See, though this was not a tabernacle of stone or brick, it was framed by geometry. Now we're going to another level, just like that. See, Hebrews are able to become geometricians, and from becoming a geometrician, you dare advance up and become an architect. Okay, an architect designs, okay, and creates. A mason builds. So think about it like this way: this building that I'm sitting in right here. It took an architect to design it. It was not a mason who designed it. A mason built it according to the specifications of the architect. So when we build according to the specifications or the blueprint of the universal consciousness, or we like to say, I put on the term or name, understand it as Yod He Wav He, or Yud He Wav He, Yahweh. Now getting back to Moshe or Akhenaten, okay, though not the tabernacle is built of stone or framed by geometry, it's the most beautiful piece of symmetrical architecture. See that? See how he went from mason to architect, according to the pattern that Yudhe that God discovered to Moses, or disclosed to Moses on Mount Sinai, and it was afterwards the model for Solomon's temple. Okay, Yosef, or who they was also second in command in Pharaoh's court. He became a grand master of the Egyptian masons. All right, as he built and constructed royal granaries and storehouses. Okay, he built and constructed. Now, Moses convened the Grand Lodge of the Tabernacle at the Passover week. The tabernacle at Shiloh, for instance, exceeded all works of all nations in its wisdom and beauty. And wisdom and beauty, when you look at the Kabbalistic tree of life, beauty is the six sephirah, and all of them come together at that anchor. All of it is anchored off the beauty of Teferet. So in the prayer, when you say the Lord's Prayer, you say, you find that word Tiferet in there. If it's not strength in dimensions, but of all the magnificent structures of antiquity, none was more comparable to the temple in Jerusalem, built by the wisest mere man and most glorious king of Israel, Solomon. So Solomon built. He didn't design, he built. That's why he became he didn't design it. The design was given to, or coming through his father. He simply just carried out the plan. Same thing as Grandmaster Yahweh ben Yahweh. Okay, he built according to the specification that was given him by the father, Yudhe Wav He. All right. So coming in, he said he's a grandmaster architect. All right. So, and if we expect to achieve that, to get to the level of grandmaster, then you must become an architect, okay, and a geometrician. Yahweh did all this, right? He performed by divine direction, without the noise of tools. So what's the allegory behind it? Without the noise of tools. We're talking about building and constructing an edifice of the mind. Your mind is what has to be constructed and has to be geometrically put together in shape to form the edifice that you would call the temple. Now, we're going to talk about the 33. In 33 years that the Temple of Solomon stood unmolested, nobody for 33 years, that's another sign, okay, among those who are in call themselves Masons or who study in secret, okay. And why is it that when you get to the 32nd degree, you have the Bible all up there, but then at the 33 degree they pass you on the Quran, okay? So it's things like this that cause the mind to wonder. You know, I don't take oaths, okay? I don't take oaths not to not reveal anything, because that would be in direct violation of who I am and what my name means. My name celestially starts with the letter Mem, or M in English, which is the 13th alphabet. It's the 13th alphabet. The attributes of Mem are revealed and concealed. So it would be in direct violation for a man of my caliber and, okay, a man of my degree to even take an oath for anything. My yes is my yes and my no is my no, okay? And yet, and by that same thing, I'm not being boxed into any one particular ideology or one particular doctrine, because again, to become an architectural or geometrician, okay, you can't be inside the box. Sometimes you have to think outside the box. You have to build outside, but we all know that it starts inwardly, inside the mind, okay. So a little bit keeping on, right? Moses convened the grand lodge of the tabernacle during the Passover week. The tabernacle at Shiloh exceeded all works of all nations in its wisdom and beauty once again, if not its strength and its dimensions did. But of all the magnificent structures of antiquity, none was more comparable to the temple in Jerusalem. And what is the temple in Jerusalem? Okay, you're looking at a physical edifice, but I'm going to give you the temple of New Jerusalem. The temple of New Jerusalems are the minds that have accepted that the Grand Master, architect of the universe, has came down as the Son, Yahweh, in the flesh, and it became Yahweh ben Yahweh. Okay, and I know some of you may disagree with who the Messiah is, but when you look at the body of work and you think about the body of work, and when I say body of work, I'm talking about the minds that were crafted, the minds that were shaped and molded as a result of the great and dreadful coming of the Lord Yahweh. So this is the level we have risen up to. We must remain diligent. We must remain vigilant and study. You must not close yourself off to any one particular ideology. You must not be stuck in your ways and say that, okay, this is how it was. Okay, but what is it now? Because as things change, evolution is a part of creation. It's a natural effect. It's a natural cause and effect. It's one of the 7 hermetic principles, cause and effect. One of the most revered or most quoted is as above, so below as above. So things have to directly be in relationship one to another, or opposites extremes. Hot, you have a cold. You have an up, you have a down, and there's just two levels of two levels of extremes. All right. So before I close this out, I'm gonna end it up with letting you know by saying that simply that the work that was performed by divine direction and without the noise of tools. The 33 years that the temple stood unmolested before the invasion of Jerusalem by the Pharaoh Shishak during Rehoboam reign. 33. David reigned in Jerusalem for 33. The human spinal column is divided into 33 segments. 33 was also the the so-called Yahshua or so-called Jesus was crucified at the age of 33. All right. Now, that's just a little piece of information for today. You can go back and you can look it over, read it. Listen to it and see and gather and go do some study. But remember, there's a difference between Israelites, Hebrew Israelite, and a Hebrew. Okay, as I stated before, the third level, the Hebrew. Hebrew is a cosmic universal consciousness, meaning that you are able to put together everything as part of the geometrical plan put together by the Grand Master Architect of the universe. Okay, Israelites are a different breed. Hebrew Israelites are different. Okay, so I relate that and correlate. I relate that to Pharisees and Sadducees. Okay, and then you have the true divine or the elect. Okay, so let's get it popping, man. Let's get it understood that 2017, 6021 in the solar year, you're dealing with Aquarius and Leo, and there gonna be some monumental things happening. All right, you started off with saying that by the election of so-called Donald Trump. Okay, that's going to work one or two ways. It's going to work both ways. It's going to work good and it's going to work evil, and that's the knowledge of tree. That's the knowledge from the tree of good and evil. But now you must start eating an organic diet. An organic diet is a diet of high consciousness. You got to come up out of the old. You have to come up out of the way that you're accustomed to, and you have to do something. Raise up. Okay, so Yahweh condensed himself into, and you can find it under the letter Samek, which is support. Okay, and it's a reason why he's also known as the Great O in the Akan language. So they call him the Great O simply, but to pronounce his name is Oyam Mekapon, and Oyam Mekapon is the universal divine creator. Okay, the great, the his and her. Okay, the duality, and the totality of it is, because you've been taught that it's a patriarchal system. The woman is basically subservient and beat down in every culture. Doesn't matter, and through that, she has fell down to a level of she's not regarded as in high standards as she once was. So the divine feminine has lost its place in a patriarchal society. But one thing you have to understand is that the DNA, right? If they wanted to ever trace something, they have to go through the mitochondrial DNA, and if the woman or female is the only one that carries the mitochondrial DNA to help identify you through your mother, not your father. That's a patriarchal system. That's only and that's been invented by those who want to remain in power and to keep the woman subjected. But she's at a level. She's balanced. It's supposed to be balanced. She's just as equal and evil as the man. You can't be a king without a queen. It's divine rulership. Okay, so let's get that straight and let's get that understanding. We're in a new time, we're in a new day and age. It's the age of Aquarius, along with Leo as the other ruling body. So you have the perfect divine balance in the universe now. And you must understand that the energy that's going on is a lot of emotional energy coming out of Aquarius. But understand that that's a progressive energy. And that's why most of you males don't understand what it is to be in touch with emotions, because you devoted that, you're patriarchal, you beat it down. So you have a lack of self-confidence, and your self-esteem is based off your ego primarily. And but you've subjugated her to that, and so she submits to that without conscientiously knowing who she is. So a real true Hebrew will bring that understanding out, and to help one to understand that it's for the whole of humanity that this is done. Again, thank you for listening. I'm gonna put the video up. I'm gonna upload it on my YouTube channel. You can go check it out. In the meantime, peace, shalom, blessings, prosperity, grace, truth, mercy, and justice. Peace, shalom.